12 Stoic Lessons that will change your life forever. Introduction. Soft ambient music begins, slow, meditative, almost ancient in tone. There comes a time in every person's life when the noise outside begins to drown out the voice within, when ambition becomes anxiety, when success starts to feel hollow, when you wake up surrounded by everything you once wanted and realize you're still restless. We scroll through endless advice, searching for meaning in a world that rewards distraction. But the truth is, wisdom isn't new, it's ancient. It was written 2,000 years ago in the quiet reflections of emperors, slaves, and exiles, men who faced war, betrayal, and death, and still found peace within themselves. That wisdom is Stoicism, not a religion, not a trend, but a way of life, a philosophy of calm strength in a world built on chaos. It doesn't tell you to escape your pain. It teaches you how to endure it, how to rise above it, how to live with clarity, courage, and grace. These are 12 Stoic lessons that will change your life forever. If you let them, they'll teach you not just how to survive, but how to live. 1. Control what you can, accept what you can't. Marcus Aurelius ruled the greatest empire on earth, yet even he couldn't control his fate. Wars erupted, friends betrayed him, his children died young. But through all of it, he reminded himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The world is chaos. People will disappoint you. Plans will fall apart. Most of life is not yours to command, but one thing will always belong to you, your response. Every moment, life asks you a simple question. Will you fight reality or flow with it? You cannot control the storm, but you can control your sail. The Stoic divides life into two realms, what is within our control and what is not. Peace begins the moment you stop trying to fix what was never yours to fix. You can't control who loves you, but you can control how you love. You can't control the outcome, but you can control your effort. You can't control the world, but you can master yourself. And when you do, the world loses its power to shake you. 2. The obstacle is the way. Every obstacle carries within it a lesson. To the average person, hardship is an ending. To the Stoic, it's a beginning. Marcus wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The Stoics didn't avoid difficulty. They transformed it. Seneca was exiled. Epictetus was enslaved. Marcus buried his children, and yet they each used suffering as a forge for character. What stands in your way right now, that breakup, that loss, that failure, is not there to destroy you. It's there to refine you. In modern life, it's easy to see obstacles as punishment. But every challenge is a mirror, revealing the parts of you that still need strengthening. Your patience, your discipline, your courage. The obstacle is not blocking the path. The obstacle is the path. And the moment you see that, struggle stops being your enemy. It becomes your teacher. 3. Memento mori. Remember, you will die. The Stoics began each day by remembering death, not to be morbid, but to awaken. Memento mori. Remember, you will die. To the ordinary mind, death is something to fear. To the Stoic, it's a reminder to live. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. When you accept your mortality, you stop wasting time. Petty arguments fade, pride dissolves. You begin to see the world as it truly is, fragile, fleeting, beautiful. Seneca said, "It's not that we have a short life, but that we waste much of it." Memento Mori isn't about darkness, it's about clarity. It teaches you to forgive faster, to love deeper, to create now, not later. When you remember death, every ordinary moment becomes sacred because you finally understand this breath, this day, this life is temporary. And that's what makes it precious. 4. Amor fati. Love your fate. Acceptance is peace, but amor fati, the love of fate, is freedom. To love your fate means to love not only the good, but the bad. Not to merely accept what happens, but to embrace it completely. Most of us spend life fighting reality. We wish things were different. We resent the past, fear the future. But the Stoic knows every event, joyful or painful, is part of the same masterpiece. Epictetus was crippled as a slave, yet said, "Do not seek for events to happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen, and your life will go smoothly." When you practice amor fati, even heartbreak becomes holy, because you begin to see the design behind the chaos, the wisdom behind the wound. In a world that tells you to control everything, the Stoic whispers, "Love everything," not because it's easy, but because every twist of fate is shaping you into who you were meant to become. 5. Discipline over motivation. Motivation is fleeting. Discipline endures. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." True strength isn't doing what you feel like, it's doing what's right, even when you don't feel like it. There will be days you wake up exhausted, days you don't feel inspired, days you'd rather quit. But the Stoic doesn't ask for easier conditions. He asks for stronger character. Marcus wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, remind yourself, I am rising to do the work of a human being." Discipline turns dreams into destiny. It's not glamorous, but it's divine. Because each small act of discipline, waking early, choosing kindness, speaking truth, is a victory over chaos. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire that never goes out. 6. Focus on virtue, not success. In a world obsessed with success, Stoicism reminds us virtue is the only true good. The Stoics believe that happiness doesn't come from wealth, fame, or status. It comes from living in alignment with your values. Seneca warned, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality," because the chase for external rewards never ends. But virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, temperance is eternal. When you focus on virtue, you measure yourself not by what you have, but by who you are. You become calm in failure, humble in success, grounded in every moment. Success is luck. Virtue is character, and character is the one thing life can never take from you. 7. Choose your response. Epictetus was born a slave, beaten and broken, but he realized something his masters never could. They could control his body, but never his mind. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Between stimulus and response, there is a gap, a sacred pause where your freedom lives. Someone insults you, you can lash out or stay silent. You lose a job, you can despair or start again. Pain arrives, you can resist it or rise with it. Your reaction is your reality. And when you learn to choose it wisely, nothing can truly harm you. 8. Live according to nature. To live according to nature means to live in harmony with reason, to align your actions with truth, not impulse. Nature doesn't cling, it flows, it doesn't rush, it evolves, it doesn't argue with what is. It simply is. When we resist change, we suffer. When we expect the world to obey our desires, we fracture. But when we accept that everything is temporary, every season, every feeling, every life, we return to balance. Marcus wrote, "Observe constantly that all things take place by change." The Stoic walks with nature, neither fighting nor fleeing reality, but understanding it. When you live this way, peace isn't something you chase, it's something you become. 9. Practice negative visualization. Every night the Stoics imagined losing everything they loved, not to invite despair, but to cultivate gratitude. They called it premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Seneca said, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." Imagine losing your sight. Imagine never hearing your favorite song again. Imagine never seeing the people you love. Now, open your eyes. That's gratitude. Negative visualization doesn't make you dark. It makes you present. When you contemplate loss, you stop taking things for granted. You start living fully. Because you remember, everything you cherish is temporary, and that's what makes it sacred. 10. Seek progress, not perfection. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal, not to perform, but to improve. He failed, he doubted, he tried again. Stoicism isn't about being perfect. It's about being better today than yesterday. The Stoic doesn't pretend to be flawless. He simply refuses to stop trying. Progress is humble. It's built on self-awareness and patience. It's choosing to respond instead of react, to forgive instead of resent, to learn instead of complain. The world chases perfection. The Stoic builds progress, one choice at a time. 11. Serve something greater than yourself. Marcus wrote, "What is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bee." The Stoics saw themselves not as isolated individuals, but as parts of a greater whole. To live well is to serve something larger than yourself, your family, your community, humanity itself. When life becomes only about me, it loses meaning. But when it becomes about we, purpose returns. Service humbles the ego. It reminds you that your actions ripple beyond your own life. To help others is to align with nature, because we were never meant to exist alone. A good life isn't measured by what you get. It's measured by what you give. 12. The present moment is all you have. The present moment, Marcus wrote, is all you ever lose. The past is gone. The future is uncertain. The only place you ever truly live is now. We spend most of life trapped between memory and anticipation, regretting what was, fearing what might be. But the Stoic knows peace lives only in this breath. Seneca warned, while we wait for life, life passes. So stop waiting. Stop postponing joy for a future that may never arrive. Be here, fully. Breathe, listen, live, because this moment is eternity in disguise. Conclusion. Music swells, warm, gentle, timeless. These 12 Stoic lessons are not ancient relics. They are blueprints for modern strength. In a world that worships comfort, Stoicism teaches endurance. In a world that glorifies noise, it teaches stillness. In a world obsessed with control, it teaches surrender. Each lesson is a step, a discipline, a practice, a return to what truly matters. You can't control the world, but you can control yourself. You can't choose your fate, but you can love it. You can't escape death, but you can live fully until it arrives. That is Stoicism. That is freedom. That is grace, sculpted by struggle. This is sculpted grace, reminding you that the world will always test you. But how you respond will define you.